Today's episode of the Sunday Night Talk is here. It is up. We recorded this right at the end of the Chiefs-Steelers debacle, the game that was almost a game. Nah, not really. This week, we have a special guest added to the team. Me and Omar usually have a one-on-one, but this week we added someone, you will see who, to talk about Wildcard, to talk about wins, losses, officiating, and moving on to the division round. But before we get to the episode, you can catch me doing stand-up comedy February 11th, 9:30 p.m. I am at Flappers Comedy Club again on a show that will be awesome. So come out. Let me know. Hit me up for information. Now, on to the show. Special guest joining us. We kick it off with the best games of the weekend, the worst games of the weekend, questions and awards from Wildcard Weekend, and a very special edition of Ask Pat's Mom NFL Questions. Real competition this week. And then we wrap it all up with legal ramifications and in addition, as you will see. So, the Sunday Night Talk, Wildcard Weekend, it is here. The playoffs are here. Action is happening. Teams are in. Teams are out. Did your team win? Did you cheer or did you cry? Well, we did a little bit of both this weekend. So, here is the Sunday Night Talk Wildcard Weekend right now. All right, recording this 7:41 West Coast time. We just wrapped up Wildcard Weekend. Well, sort of. Pittsburgh, Kansas City is still going on, but we gave up on that game. It's done. We have a special guest to the Sunday Night Talk. Joining me, as always, is my legal counsel, Omar Carmona. But this week, Diamante Williams from Diamonds Are Forever pregame show is joining us for the playoffs.
Thank you.
Guys, three of us entered.
I'm wounded.
Three of us entered this week. Only one man is left standing. Both me and Diamante's teams lost. Omar's team won. He's in a mood. What a weekend, though. Wildcard Weekend. Let's start with you, Omar. What is great about Wildcard Weekend?
Wildcard Weekend, and we get a classic rivalry. I think, 27 years ago since the last Cowboys 49ers game.
Right into it.
But that's what's great about Wildcard Weekend. You know, because of the way seedings worked out, and it feels like it's 1994 again when it's like Cowboys, 49ers, Packers. Games mean something.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were doing a little history on Niners, Cowboys, NFC matchups and stuff. So I looked it up because I just feel like the Niners have been in a lot of playoff games over the last 10 years. The Niners have been like in 5 NFC championships in the 2010s. They lost to the Giants, they lost to the Packers. A lot of playoff history going on with the Niners in the modern day era. What about you, D? Greatest thing about Wildcard Weekend to you in general?
Anybody has a chance. It's a puncher's chance. Anybody could come into the tournament and win, as you saw today. I was hoping maybe it wasn't going to go that way, but it's a puncher's chance. Anybody who makes the tournament, they could come in hot, have the other team's number, and anybody can win.
Well, you said it. Everybody has a chance because yours and my team almost stole it. I wouldn't go as far as say my team would have won. We would have stole the win if we would have won. So everybody had a shot minus Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, which I think everybody.
Let's just say that the Keystone State, the Keystone State was the bye week this week.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, this is why you make the argument that the number 2 seed should still get a bye week.
Or the argument is do we need a seventh playoff team? Does that even matter? Because
right.
Maybe both the 7 teams are getting blown out.
It's been a super long season, and we extended it even more into the playoffs. So this season is long. Last week, while Omar talked me off of my mental breakdown, I was exhausted by the end of that game. I rewatched it on YouTube. They had just the last 4 minutes. The video was 56 minutes long. 4 minutes of game clock was 56 minutes long, and I know the outcome of the game, and I'm still cheering it on. I'm still cheering on incompletes and first downs and stuff like that. What I like about Wildcard Weekend is the finality. Like, all the games matter. Somebody's going home. And then lastly, I like all the storylines we get to cook up. Like, is this Jimmy G's last stand? What's the Cowboys 49ers overall record? When's the last time the Raiders have won a playoff game? When's the last time the Bengals have won a playoff game? I love how we can find a storyline out of everything in Wildcard Weekend, and it just sort of kicks it off. It's like the start of March Madness for football.
It really is.
To me. And then we have a Monday night game this week so that the playoffs continue.
Because now the brackets are set, right? Now the brackets are set. Which is so awesome. We now get to do some real predictions here and how the rest of the tournament's going to map out.
Overall thoughts for the weekend. I had these like big picture stuff. I had number one big overall thought was number one, officiating played a big role in all the close games.
Good gosh.
Yeah, whether the calls were right or not, officiating was huge in the close games.
Well, let's just talk about the two. Let's talk about the two big ones. One, that Bengals touchdown counted.
Yep.
I mean,
we'll get to that. I have all that. Yep, that was big.
And that's ridiculous. And two, the last play of the Dallas game, can you make the argument that the ref should have moved out of the way? You can make that argument, but the bottom line is Dak should have handed the ball off to the ref.
Yeah. Right. A lot of gray area, and we come back to the question that these are official composite crews. These are all-star crews put together, and it seems like we have this argument every year, and we never really get anywhere with it. We just mention that they're all-star crews, and then we go, okay, and then the next year it's the same thing. We make the same argument. We go, okay, and then next year same argument. So that was the biggest detail for me going in, and then. Lastly, the two close games, the Vegas game that they lost, the Dallas game that they lost, could have been stolen games. Those two teams that were down the whole game, almost stole those games. So a fun weekend, but now I get a chance to give a final farewell to my Las Vegas Raiders. It was I'm sad. I really am sad because I like this team. It almost feels like this is a college team. And you know how you sort of start to take ownership of the players? Like, I thought this was a cool team. We had a good leader. We had a ton of adversity. And I'm sad that they're not in my life anymore. I'm sad that Edward James Olmos, head coach, is no longer in my life. I'm sad that Derek Carr, Daniel Stern from Home Alone, is no longer playing anymore. Yeah. I'm a little bummed. That Derek Carr almost perfected the just throw it deep and get a pass interference call on every third play. I'm bummed out. So that's my farewell to my team.
The big note here is now with the Bengals win, the team now with the longest drought is the Detroit Lions, who haven't won a playoff game since '95. How about that?
That's sad.
Detroit, a team to look out for in the next few years.
All right, wait. It's too early for lock it in picks, Carmona. Are you locking it in?
Detroit's 2022 NFL season, the Detroit Lions will get the 6th seed.
How about you, Dino? Your team lost, my team lost. Any exit interview thoughts for your team? Did you like this team overall? Did they break your heart all year? Were you mad?
It's a love-hate relationship every year with the Cowboys. So I'm used to it now. I wasn't that let down today for some reason. I'm still
really?
Smiling. Yeah, I mean, you start realizing and going through this all the time. It's part of it, man.
Yeah,
I didn't sit down the whole game though, and I'll tell you that. But my exit interview is coach. Offensive coordinator, they're talking about he's supposed to be a head coach somewhere. He sucks. Kellen Moore needs more time as an offensive coordinator. He's not ready to be a head coach.
I thought you were going to cry there for a second.
Let me tell you what needs to happen. Jerry Jones needs to call New Orleans right away.
Yes,
okay.
Sean Payton. Please.
And he needs to say, look, Sean Payton has brought that team a Super Bowl, and he says, I need permission to talk to this guy. Once the permission is granted, he needs to send a blank check over to Sean Payton, and Payton gets to fill in the numbers himself.
I say he delivers it. He walks over there himself, and he delivers the check, and he says, come on over.
Man, did you see what Peyton did with the team he had this year? Almost got into
the playoffs. I'm telling you, honestly, it seems like it's. I don't think it's that far out of reality. I could see that happening this offseason.
Just like as a quick coaching carousel, there's a lot of names out there. There's a lot of coaching vacancy, and there's names that are going to move around. There's some college coaches that could be names in the NFL. So the offseason market is going to be huge now for positions filled.
Yep.
Poor Dallas. Poor Dallas. That was a mess. I thought the Raider Bengal game was a mess penalty wise. That Dallas game was insane. What's the best
penalties?
14 penalties. That's usually the realm of the Raiders. Before we tackle that game, I too have lost a lot of games in my life. A lot of not so many playoff games, but then I was thinking, what's the best way to actually lose a playoff game? Would you prefer to just be blown out early and then you don't care anymore? Or would you rather just be a back and forth heartbreaker loss at the end? I think I would just take the blowout. I don't think I can take fourth quarter.
The back and forth, it hurts to lose it. It's very painful, but you want your team to have a fighter's chance at the end of the game.
Yeah, you want them to be competitive. You want.
Yeah,
to say, hey,
and go out with dignity.
Yeah,
go out with honor. I think Dallas. I think there were more coaching blunders. I'm a Niners fan. I thought there was a time when it looked like Jimmy G was going to give it back to the Cowboys, and we had some questionable play calling. How do you come out of a timeout on a 4th and inches and you don't get set up right to do the quarterback sneak?
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of weird stuff. The Niners definitely wanted to let them back in.
It negated a 38-yard reception to CeeDee Lamb, and it was CeeDee Lamb who didn't get set. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into that game. Number one, I start watching that game. I don't think I've ever seen Tony Romo more excited to call a game.
Okay.
I don't know if he was...
He should not be calling Dallas Cowboy games again. Okay. Can we agree?
That's why I think he was excited.
He is way. I got to at least hand it to Troy Aikman. At least he does his best to stay in the middle, to stay right on the fence. Tony Romo doesn't even hide it. Okay? And I know there was one line in particular. Somebody says, "What's Jerry thinking?" And then Tony says, "He's nervous. We're all nervous." And that's not what a journalist should be saying.
He was excited. I don't know if he was excited because the game, the matchup, all that stuff, or he was excited that they didn't send him to Tampa Bay to call that terrible game. Aikman and Joe Buck got the shaft this week. That was rough. I don't know if you...
something at the end.
I was going to say, did you hear that? That Aikman's like, I know some people who would love to be calling that game. Yeah. Right. Joe Buck says, like who? Like you? And then they just pass it off. I was like, I want to know more about that. Why did you guys get stuck with this game?
Apparently, I read into that. Apparently, CBS put in the bid a long time ago, and they paid the $70 million, whatever it cost to
have that time slot.
To have that time slot, right?
Yeah. Well, that game started, and Parsons went out early, and he didn't look right. He's on the sideline taking oxygen every other play. That was red flag number one. The Niners are running all... Right, he had that too, but he just didn't look right. And then the Niners are running the football all over them. And at some point, I wanted to watch this game on Nickelodeon. Did you know you could watch this game on Nickelodeon too?
Yep. I didn't even bother to switch the channel.
I wanted to check it out. Too focused. I wanted to see what was going on Nickelodeon. I wanted to know if they had announcers. I wanted to know what their little games were that they were playing. It sounded interesting, but it seemed the Cowboys were behind the whole game. They got off to such a slow start in that game. And the Niners were doing whatever they wanted. They could run on them, and Jimmy G was throwing his underneath passes, and everything was working. The Niners looked like Super Bowl contenders, and it took the Cowboys. How long did it take the Cowboys to score?
End of the second quarter, I think, was their first, or like with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, they finally scored their first touchdown.
I think that was the only thing they did, at least in the first half, right, is they had all three of their timeouts at the end of the first half, and they could get points, and then it made it a game. Did you notice that Van Der Esch's name was spelled incorrectly on his jersey, too? I think they had the C and the S.
I don't know how that happened.
Backwards?
I don't know.
There's so many red flags in this game. So many red flags going on. Not to mention we had Mike McCarthy, who said 12 words the entire game, I think. I don't get him. I don't get this guy.
And how about this? The Deebo Samuel, NFL superstar Deebo Samuel. That guy is just a baller.
They should have gave it to him more. They really should have. Yeah. The times they wrapped him up, it was like, oh my God. Okay, Dallas got him. They got him that one. And then you were like, okay, at least they won't give it to him for another 7 carries. They should have used him more because everything was working with that guy. What about, I always like games that start in the afternoon and then they end at night. There was a huge shadow on the field in Texas Stadium, and I think a Dallas guy drops a ball because the sun's in his eyes.
Yep.
I never think Phil Simms has anything good to offer, except this one time at halftime, he has a quote, who spends $1 billion on a stadium and makes it face east and west. Like, what a brilliant insight. What a brilliant insight from Phil Simms. I'm like, yeah, you got the sun in your eyes, man. Then the penalties. Give me your thoughts on how do you react when your team gets a penalty called against you? Because I openly curse.
You know, I think that's a question definitely for Dino because, you know, we had some penalties, but, I mean, the Cowboys were just battered.
My very first word out of my mouth is fuck.
Yeah, right? Me too.
That's the first word out of my mouth because it's always a pre-snap penalty or it's a penalty right after a big play, and it always brings it back. So it's I'm at a loss for words. I'm still hurting. What is this? 3 hours later, still a little hurt.
Yeah, you know, and then even the Niners, they had that huge stop in the third quarter. And then they go for the block. I don't know what they were doing going for a block like that.
That penalty saved Dallas as well. You're right.
With the lead. But you know, we would have
out right after that.
The Niners would have had the ball at midfield.
Look at Dino, so upset he left the room.
Yep.
He went to get a tissue. The penalty, I had that exactly written down. The huge roughing the punter penalty. And then also right along the lines of punting, when the punter hits the scoreboard and they have to replay the down, I'm thinking, can we figure this out by now? Can we figure this out, officials or stadium or something? If you hit the scoreboard, it's just a do-over? What are we playing in the backyard? Can we figure out some sort of better strategy than if the punt hits the scoreboard, you just do it over?
Our punter was our best player today.
Yes, he kept them in the game.
Yeah.
And then again, another thing to help the Cowboys, Bosa goes out. Everybody's injured in this game. Everybody is going down with injuries, which was true all weekend too.
I know Omar's praying that it's a light concussion and it's not one of those heavy ones where he's out next week.
Yeah, you're right. I am on that one. The one that scared me more though, because like you said, it could be one that maybe he misses a game, maybe not, and I knew that. The one that I wasn't sure of was when Fred Warner went down. Ooh. I thought it was an ACL. Turns out it was an ankle. Real bad, but that he was warming up to come back in, and that's when I took a breath of fresh air because that would be a huge loss for the 49ers. Fred Warner not playing in a game.
Hoping that's not a high ankle sprain because those put people out.
Yeah, that could be a problem too. So, but we'll see. Packers, 49ers, Saturday.
Look at that already. Already looking forward to a
chance to upset over there.
They got a chance. 49ers have a fighter's chance.
Well, if I'm listing teams that I do not want to play, it's San Francisco. I don't want to play them. They have everything clicking. Jimmy G looks like he can do damage in the offense as long as he doesn't have to run around. Or if they tell him like
for sure.
Samuel's good, they have D. They're the hot team. They're the what would you call in the NCAA? They're the Butler. They're the 10 seed.
The 12 seed.
They're the 12 seed. Yeah, they just took down North Carolina in the second round. They're hot. They're a hot team. This is where I thought the dam broke for the Cowboys, is when Dak throws the pick, and in the very next play, San Francisco runs it in. I was like, this game's over. It's so done. But in the NFL, no game is ever over, as we see. So I thought the dam broke, and then my favorite part, I love a fake punt, is when they do the fake punt, and the punter throws it, they get the first down, and you're just instantly like, new life. They're back in the game. And it tricked everybody. I didn't see it coming. Nobody called it.
No, it didn't trick anybody. It didn't trick anybody but one person, and it was the corner who was covering that guy. That's
really?
Person did. Right. Yeah, because the defense didn't rush. They stood their lane. They watched for the run. The only person that faked out was that corner who was covering the gunner who got that reception. That's the only person that faked out.
I thought it was going to flip the game. Sometimes it takes a special teams play, a kickoff run back, something, and then the game totally flips. But I think they got a delay game on the very next play.
And so it was back to penalties. A field goal out of that.
Right. And then Jimmy G goes full Jimmy G and throws the pick.
Dude.
That, I don't know if, Omar, you're in the earshot of loved ones, but I would not want to be around you for your reaction to that.
No, that was a rough one. And again, I'm thinking we can't. For me, the one that made me scream was definitely Jimmy G missing that wide open receiver on third down because
I forgot about that.
That was just as bad as an I know we punted, but that was just as bad as an interception. Drive killer. Yep. And and possibly leaving. That could have been the defining drive where our foot is on their neck and we can't put it away, which has been the signature of Kyle Shanahan, putting games away, big games away. This made Kyle Shanahan finished out in the fourth quarter ever, the first big game. So. Definitely some concerns going into Green Bay, but we'll take the win.
You're right about that. That dates back all the way to the Super Bowl, right? The 28. Yeah, that dates back to.
Yep. Just not finishing a game.
If San Francisco loses this game, say Garoppolo throws that pick, Dallas commits 5 less penalties. We're talking right now if Garoppolo comes back to San Francisco next year, if they lose this game. We would talk about that. Yeah. We'd be like, they're going to trade him. They need changes.
Who are they going to get, though?
Well, they have Trey Lance, right? They
got Trey Lance.
Oh, I forgot. I totally forgot about that.
They could bring Romo out of the booth and coax him to
get Romo out of here. I don't want to see Romo.
He obviously still wants to play. He still wants to play. Don't doubt Romo. He wants to play. And then all of a sudden, we have a good game after this. After the Garoppolo pick, this game is on. It's a totally good game again. So that I got interested. You know what I like? When they go up to the booth and they show Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, he wears his hat backwards and bifocals. He looks like a dad who's still trying to look cool, because he's got the old man glasses but his hat backwards. I couldn't get enough of him cutting to that. That and Jerry Jones' luxury box. I want a camera on Jerry Jones' luxury box in the corner of the screen all game long. I need to know what's going on in that luxury box all the time.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
After that, I think it became a total penalty fest in the game. So what I have in my notes, okay, tell me if you caught this. There's 2:42 left in the game. Dak and the Cowboys are driving, and they do a CBS promo. Who betrayed Anne Frank's family coming up tonight? I was like, what a horrible promo. What a way to... Did you catch this?
That's funny you mentioned. I caught it, and I kind of looked up, and I'm like, oh, what a buzzkill right now.
Seriously?
It was. I'm like, geez.
60 minutes? Was it?
Yeah, it was for like a 60-minute story. I'm like, we're into this, and then we have to take it all the way back to the Holocaust. Do we really need this right now? Can we have Romo doing?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That was rough. Dino, I never heard of this Schultz tight end guy all year for Dallas, and he was one of their biggest guys today.
Yeah, he was he came on the scene last year when Blake Jarwin, they actually paid Blake Jarwin last year. They gave him a good contract, and he got injured last year. And then Schultz emerged as a young stud. And then again, Blake Jarwin got injured again this year, and Schultz has been balling, and he's actually a free agent. So there's a lot of questions. Do we cut Blake Jarwin and keep him, or ride with Blake Jarwin? So there's a lot of questions out of
Schultz was big today. He played really, really well. I wrote in my notes that Gregory penalty, that hold, I thought, it's over. I was like, this game's over. But like anything else in the NFL, we were still 2 series away from it being over.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Dallas used all their timeouts on defense, and then they got a shot, and then we go to the Dak slide, which like 4 great plays before that to get up the field before the Dak slide. Where do you stand on the Dak slide? Give me your thoughts, Omar.
At the end?
At the last play of the game?
Yeah, the very last play.
I don't know if McCarthy is I don't know how honest they're being about that being the play call. I don't know. I thought it was if that was the play call, then it was definitely a panic play call, in my opinion. I just don't see how you say to yourself that hole is going to be there. It was there. I'm not sure that you draw that up knowing that hole is going to be there. And then you take that risk because who knows, maybe if Dak takes a slide 5 yards before the spot he chose to take a slide, maybe they do get that second, obviously,
I think they would. I think they would get one play. I don't know. And if it had worked, we would be calling him a genius. If they had got the one play, like, look at that. They weren't expecting it. He got enough time. But he slid 5 yards too late. So I can't blame the ref for the ball spotting thing because he ran too far. What about you, D? Like the slide? Say he slid 5 yards before.
Yeah, if he slides sooner, it allows more time on the clock. He lost track of time. How much was left. He misjudged it. So that's all on Dak for sure. Yeah.
So Dallas loses.
We have the 49ers and Packers playing next Saturday at 7:15 Central.
Oh.
The times just came out right now. So we got Bengals Titans at, let me say East Coast time, 4:30 East Coast time, 49ers Packers 8:15 East Coast time, both on Saturday.
Okay.
Nice.
Sunday we have
I knew they were going to get this. They were going to get the Saturday game because there'd be no way they'd put the winner of the Monday night game on a short week on a Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. And so they have Arizona, the winner of tomorrow's game versus the Bucks, 3 p.m. Eastern next Sunday, and then Bills Chiefs, 6:30 Eastern next Sunday.
Got it.
Hot off the press.
Dallas loses. Tough loss. Garoppolo looks like $1 million all of a sudden. Let's go on to my Saturday 10 a.m. heartbreak. Raiders at Bengals. First of all, the early Saturday wildcard game is usually a dud. So I was already nervous. So my thought going into this game is like, we need Waller, who I've called a big baby all season long. We need him to come through. And he did. He played a great game. Yeah. Opening drive, we got field goal. Yeah, we got a field goal in the opening drive, and then it was just hard to keep pace with Cincinnati after that. Then we went into self-destruction mode and got a penalty every third play. we did the great one where the kickoff was bouncing around by the sideline and the guy touches the ball, then steps out of bounds instead of stepping out of bounds.
That was boneheaded.
Yeah,
That was boneheaded.
That was a great miscue. So that was awesome. And then we come to the inadvertent whistle. I watched the game. I heard that whistle before the touchdown, clear as day. I don't know what you heard, but then the referees have...
No, it was clear.
It was clear. And then the referees have like a 3-minute conference on the side.
That's the sad thing is that they had a chance to get that call right.
Right.
You know, and they just didn't. So
it
was
very
sad.
We could attribute that to the composite crew not being on the same page with each other, somehow just not knowing the rule. It's a clear rule that an inadvertent whistle, you replay the down.
Yeah.
Who knows? They could have scored on the next play.
I missed the play. I saw just replays. What were they? What was it? What was he blowing the whistle for? He thought Burrow was out of bounds. Is that
That's what I think. There was no clear explanation. Burrow was scrambling against the sideline. He throws it. The whistle, you hear the whistle a second before the receiver catches it in the end zone. So you just assume, oh, Burrow stepped out of bounds. You watch the replay. He's nowhere near out of bounds. So it was an early whistle, but it was an early whistle. And the players all react to it. No one celebrates a touchdown. They look around like, what's going on here? And then the refs have a conference and they say like, no, it's a touchdown. We'll give it to you. It's a touchdown. So that was a little disheartening. And no one really knew the rule. Tirico didn't explain the rule until they came back from commercial.
Wow.
So
that's
nothing
weird. That I mean, when was the last time you've seen a play like that?
I know I've seen it nowhere near an important game, but you'll hear an inadvertent whistle and then they'll say something like that. But it seems like it would be known, like the rule would be known what to do in that situation.
Yep.
That was a bummer. Then I had Deshaun Jackson dropped a great ball. Sorry. Waller dropped a pass. The officiating kept having conferences. And we couldn't stop Jamar Chase on offense. The number one for Cincinnati was catching every third ball.
But Deshaun Jackson, there was a play earlier that he caught the ball that they called back for a penalty as well.
Right. That was another good one.
I bet you the Raiders and the Cowboys are the most penalized team in the NFL.
I know the Raiders have been for a long, long time, and the Cowboys were the most penalized this year.
Somebody's got to look that up. I bet you they're 1 and 2. They're 1A, 1B.
Yeah, I believe so. And then, of course, the last play of the game, Raiders have a chance to tie. They throw the ball, and it's not even in the end zone. The pass didn't even make it to the end zone.
I texted you last night. I was like, why did he not throw it in the end zone?
He didn't even go to the end zone. So that was the end of it, and thus I'm sad to see this team go. And then, you don't need to kick us when we're down, but in the press conference with Joe Burrow and the coach of Cincinnati, the reporter asks, did you hear the whistle on that touchdown pass? And then they have to act all smug and they say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, listen, dude, I know you know that. Just say like, yeah, we heard it. We didn't know what to do. They called it a touchdown. They have to play it all smug. Why you gotta rub it in on me, Joe Burrow, with your 90s glasses?
Joe Burrow's a stud.
He did play pretty good. I thought we were going to steal it.
That quarterback.
He's another hot one.
Yep.
Him and right after San Francisco. The team is looking really, really strong. And then we had the skippables. New England at Buffalo, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. The
Laugher of a game. But Josh Allen, wow, that's the kind of superstar performance Josh Allen is capable of putting up.
Yep.
Those two, we should have had 2 London wildcard games. Those games were so bad. Send every bad game to the London game. I only wrote down for the New England Buffalo game like 6 notes. It was 6 degrees. It was 20-0 in no time. The middle of
the first quarter.
The middle of the first quarter. The 2 broadcasters were talking about jackets at one point. One of them was wearing a puffy jacket, and he's like, "Did Kurt Warner loan me this jacket?" They were talking about jackets, and the only good thing about the Patriots is I think Mac Jones got a good block when they ran a sweep. Mac Jones threw a block. That's the only good thing about the whole game. It was horrible. They looked miserable there, too.
Worst game of the weekend.
Were you worse than Philly, Tampa Bay?
Philly's offense was just bad to watch today. It was hard to watch that game.
You mean you didn't have confidence in sad-faced Jalen Hurts?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I'm texting you.
There was only one game. There was only one game today. This Kansas City game, it's not even worth talking about. Although looks like Ben Roethlisberger's career in Pittsburgh is down to its last 30 seconds. So, good career. I don't see him coming back to an NFL team. I think a team would love to have him as a backup. I don't know if he's down for that.
No way.
He needs to ride off into the sunset. He's
done. Yeah. Some might say he retired. Some might say he retired 2 years ago. Here's my. I'll read you my notes from Philly, Tampa Bay. Potential worst game of the weekend. We were right. Philly is the number one rushing offense. Is that true? I saw that stat. And I was like, no way that's true. That's what the stat was. I didn't bother to look it up. And I think even the announcer said, I think Aikman said, but throw it out because they didn't really play anybody good. And then I was texting you, Dino, when are we going to see Minshew today? Let's put him in. We never saw him. We needed to put Minshew in there. Also, Omar, conspicuously radio silent all today. I see your strategy. You don't even engage with any texting during games.
No, on purpose, I was very, very quiet. I was very quiet. The only people I was texting, I was texting only 49ers fans.
Is that your move? Just stick with the fan base.
Stick with the fan base. I'm not going to get caught up in talking shit. I was only talking to 49ers fans today.
My other notes during the Philly game is there was a USFL commercial, so there's more football coming up after. Okay, I'm kind of interested.
Like 8 teams?
I don't know. Is there? I mean, whatever. Let's watch it. I don't even care at this point. Let's keep the season going. Let's have it go all the way to the start of the NFL season. Why don't we?
We got the World Cup this summer, so
we got Olympics too. Oh, we have World Cup too. We got plenty of sports.
Yeah,
we got
Olympics, World Cup though.
Well, there's Olympics this year.
Oh yeah, the
Winter
Olympics.
Yeah. Then I made a note. A Tampa Bay player scored a touchdown or got a pick or something. Takes off their helmet, gets the penalty. Do players not know that they can't take off the? It seems like we've had this rule for a decade and a half.
It's the Emmett Smith rule,
and they still don't know. Is it?
It's called the Emmett Smith rule because he used to every time he scored a touchdown, he would take off his helmet and yell at the crowd all the time.
Oh, and that's where the penalty. I didn't know it came from that specifically. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently half the league doesn't know that either because they still do it. Still take off their helmets when something happens. And then my last note of the Philly game, would you blame Jalen Hurts' bad play on the massive gold earring he wears underneath his helmet? It's huge. It is huge. I thought it was something else. It's too big. I'm like, put Minshew in. We don't need anybody with jewelry.
Definitely a pirate earring. Yep.
That's that Houston swag.
All right. Those were the Is he?
Yep.
He played bad. He looks sad. I don't even mind him playing bad. He just looks so sad. Do we need to spend any time on Pittsburgh KC?
Please, God, no.
None.
It was fun for a quarter, right?
Yeah. When TJ Watt scored that touchdown, I was like, okay.
I think I need to just apologize to the Chiefs the last 4 weeks and say, like, okay, Chiefs, yes, you are good. It seems like I talk shit on the Chiefs all year, but they might be good.
I don't know. Who do they play next week? They play the Bills?
It is gonna be
that's a good test.
Chiefs. Yeah, it's Bengals, Titans, and it's Chiefs, Bills.
Yep.
Okay. So I apologize.
Big game.
They're good. Oh, last note. Did you catch this from Al Michaels? He said when Ben Roethlisberger retires, Roethlisberger is going off to the farm. Like, what are they putting him out like a horse? Like they're going to shoot him in the barn? I don't know if I heard that right, but I thought that was funny. Okay. Questions for the week. Number one, do we need to reimagine the catch? It seems every year we have a catch controversy. We had one with Renfro on the Raiders catching a ball. He gets 2 feet down.
That was a catch.
And it gets poked out. And then the official guy that they Skype in from, I don't know, a bunker in New York or something says like, all right, you got to have 1 foot, 2 foot, and then you need a third act. But it seems like we're going to be arguing what a football move is to the end of time. It's like you could say.
That was so close. So close.
Yeah. What if we just say like, okay, throw out all the old stuff. Let's define a catch starting now. And then we just start over. Because it seems like we're too muddled. We're like, all right, if the defensive back never, ever, ever made it out of middle school, would the receiver have caught the ball? I'll use that logic by that. So do we need to rethink the catch before something terrible happens?
Yeah, the rule is that rule's staying the same. It's not going to change. There's just no other better way to define it. So it's got to stay. No need to rethink it.
Keep the football move, you're saying?
Yeah, I got to do that.
Okay. What about you, D? Keep the football move or reimagine the catch?
Nah, you got to keep the football move. You got
really?
2 feet and a football move. I mean, Des Bryant did it.
What about a wink? What if I catch the ball 2 feet and I wink at somebody? Is that a football move? Yeah, the Des Bryant one, to me, that he made a football move.
Yeah.
If I rewatch that. So I think we're going to get in trouble with the catch rule at some point again. Question number 2, will you watch a playoff game on Nickelodeon this season? Start with you, Omar. Never.
No, but I'm not opposed to it.
Me neither. I'm down.
I'll watch it as long as it's not involving my team.
Okay, that's fair. Like a trial basis. Like I'll watch Chiefs Bills.
Yeah. If I want to do Bengals Titans next week, I'll check that out.
Okay. I say more stations need to do this. We said last week I want to see an NFL game on Bravo. Let's see how Bravo does. Let's get Andy Cohen calling a playoff game. That'd be fun.
Hey, careful on this one. Just be careful.
The Manning cast worked. Let's do something like the Manning cast. Let's throw it around a little bit.
They still slime people on Nickelodeon. That's
right.
Crazy. Is that still really a thing?
Well, I don't know. I don't watch Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Right. Remember the shows on Nickelodeon where there was Double Dare, there was you can't do that on television, or you can't do this on television, you would get slimed. There was a lot of sliming, a lot of pouring of substance on people's heads. Remember Wild and Crazy Kids? That was a good one.
Yeah. What did they call it when you didn't want to do a dare? Physical challenge?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You would do the obstacle course. That's right. That was a good one. I wonder if Nickelodeon still has those shows in some capacity.
They gotta do a reboot.
Yeah, I like it. I say they keep it going. Super Bowl on Nickelodeon one day. You watch.
I think it was there. I think they had it last year.
Oh, really?
They did it for the first time last year. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's not the first
they
time
did it. No, they did it for the first time for Thanksgiving.
It was
a thing.
Oh. What channel needs to have football on it? What cable channel would you like to see football on?
Good question. I would like to see something with that couple from Texas on the Home and Garden, where they could, like, when they're going in and they're giving their tips on the stadium. Hey, this is which one's a real, like the Hard Rock in Miami, that needs I think that needs serious updates.
I thought they just
and they just
okay,
or they go into Soldier Field and this is what this place needs a little work here and there.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. And they would call a game.
It's called a bar remake, or what's the name of that?
Oh
show?
Yeah, Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue.
I love that show.
Rescue.
Yes.
Stadium Rescue.
That's on Bravo. I mean, I don't know. All right, this round is called Who Do You Trust? QB edition. Next week, Jimmy G or Aaron Rodgers. Who do you trust?
You got to trust Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the guy's likely going to win the MVP. It's just the issue is going to be, do the 49ers have what it takes to stop Aaron Rodgers? But you trust Aaron Rodgers.
You're very,
he's going to perform.
You're very, very cautious with your Jimmy G affection. All year, you have not been 100% on Jimmy G's side. Still not?
No, he almost cost us the game today.
Wow. All right. Tannehill or Burrow? Who do we like in that matchup?
Burrow.
Do you ride the hot hand with Burrow or
hot hand?
Hot hand?
Hey,
who's making the mistake in that game?
Tannehill is being disrespected. Like, he has his team number 1 seed in the AFC, and he's being disrespected.
That could go a long way.
And something to look out for. Look out for. King Henry comes back.
I was gonna say he did this with no King Henry, by the way, guys.
Right? No, you're right. Take it easy.
True. True. Also, never doubt the team who no one believes in. I don't like going against the team who constantly says, like, no one believes in us. It makes me nervous. Mahomes.
I got a question for you. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Who are you going for now?
Right. That was going to be my question later for you. Our teams are out. Who do I root for? Who do I root for going on the playoffs? I can't go Cincinnati because they knocked us out. I can't go Kansas City because they're in the AFC West. So I think I'm going to throw my allegiance to Buffalo. Although,
interesting.
Yeah, I think I could throw my allegiance to Buffalo. Who else do we have? We got 49ers, Packers, Bucks, Titans.
I like the Packers. Because of the El Paso
That's true.
right?
I can get down with a hometown affiliation. I always like the Titans uniforms.
You guys don't live in El Paso anymore.
That's true.
That made Omar throw up. He went to high school though. He actually went to Burgess and went to UTEP. That's crazy.
Nothing. Look at Omar. Now he's left the frame. He's going over there. Omar's on fire today.
There you go, Aaron Jones.
And yet you're still not going to root for him. Can you root for just the guy and not the team, Omar? What if he got a touchdown in garbage time?
All right, he could do that. Throw out the 9-5.
All right, so give me the Bills for my team I'm rooting for moving on here. What about you, D? Who's your team?
I'm on a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl, so I want to go Titans.
I like that idea too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like rooting for the team that hasn't won.
I'd say that would make sense for Dino because they're really a Houston team.
Yeah, that's the Houston old team. That's the Houston Oilers right there.
Right. Okay, maybe you're talking me into this. Maybe I want to root for the Titans now.
Yeah.
All right. All right, those were the questions. But the challenge is not done, my friends. Omar, you will remember a few weeks ago, we did the Ask Pat's Mom challenge, 10 questions. I have a new set of 10 for you guys to see how you do. We have Diamante Williams, knows my mom. Omar Carmona also knows my mom. So you guys have knowledge. Maybe she knows these questions, maybe she doesn't. I'm going to play you 10 questions, and you're going to guess if my mom knows the answer to these questions or not.
Okay.
Do you understand the rules?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Here's the first question. I'm going to play it for you. The Jaguars are in what city? Okay. Does my mom know where the Jaguars play? What do you think?
Absolutely not.
No.
Do you know both of you say no?
Does she attempt? Does she actually give an answer, or does she say she doesn't know?
I can't tell you that. I'm going to have to play it.
I want to guess what she says.
Okay, for a bonus point, you're actually going to guess her answer? All right. So both of you say no. Let's see if you're right.
It's in Carolina.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see if my mom knows the answer.
Tennessee.
I was close.
Tennessee, wow.
She guessed Nashville, Tennessee. You both were right. She did not know where
Yep.
the Jaguars play. All right, you're both 1 for 1. Question number 2.
Nashville.
Final answer? Name 3 teams whose mascots are animals. All right. Do you think my mom can name 3 teams whose mascots are animals?
Shit, I can't even name them.
She'll get the Bears.
Yep.
Oh, does she get the Dolphins? No. You just gave her the Jaguars.
That's true. That's true. She could remember that.
Gave her the Jaguars. Would she think the Broncos?
There's a lot of teams that are animals.
She might think I see the Broncos too because that's El Paso sees or watches the Broncos games.
But does my mom watch the Broncos?
And the Cowboys play the Eagles a lot.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say she names 2, and she probably could name 3, but I think she's just gonna get frustrated and quit at 2. There you go.
Okay, Omar's going no. What about you, D? Does my mom know?
She gets it for sure.
Okay, Diamante going yes.
She's got a sports background, so I'll give her this.
Bears is one of them. She'll name the Bears.
For sure.
Diamante going yes, Omar going no. Okay, you guys split on this one. Here we go.
The Jaguars.
She just gave it the Jaguars. I knew that one.
Did she say the Rams?
Yes.
LA Rams.
Yeah.
And the Colts.
Jaguars, Rams, and Colts. She got it.
There you go.
Diamante gets the point.
But the Colts.
Colts, how about that? Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
I should have figured the Rams because of Steven.
That's true, the Rams. Dino takes the lead on that one. All right, next question. Also, by the way, can you hear how my dad cannot keep silent in the background here? I tell him, all right, I'm going to ask Mom 10 questions. And he's like, okay. I ask her a question. Hey, good question. I know that one. He can't stay silent. He's the Tasmanian devil, that guy. Okay, I'm going to play it. What does RPO stand for? All right. How deep is my mom's football knowledge? Does she know what RPO stands for? No, do you guys know what RPO stands for?
Absolutely.
Run pass option.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys both know. But does Irma Ramirez, my mom, know what RPO
Not a
stands
chance.
for?
Not even
Omar
close.
going no. Both know. Okay.
She thinks it's a type of burrito.
If that is the answer, I'm giving you partial credit for that. All right, let's take a listen. Have you ever heard that term?
No. But I may be able to figure it out.
Okay. By the way, I like how my mom has never heard the term, yet she says, I'm going to still figure it out. She can piece it together somehow.
RPO.
But
no,
yeah, chiming in. Who is Tom Brady married? Oh, sorry. We missed her answer. She had no idea. Let me back it up. Who is Tom Brady married to? Sorry, next question.
She knows that one for sure.
Who is Tom Brady married to? She didn't know the RPO one. Sorry.
She did. I'm going to say.
She knows.
Oh, I gotta catch up to Diamante, so I'm gonna say no.
She does because Tom Brady, number one, he's been in the league forever. Number two, she's a supermodel, so everybody knows Giselle. Everybody knows Tom.
Okay.
For sure.
Sticking with no, Omar.
I'm gonna say she in her head she's gonna know who it is, but I don't think the word Giselle's gonna, because sometimes that's something like I would maybe mess up on.
Okay, so you're sticking with no? She doesn't know?
I gotta figure out how to catch up to Diamante, so I'm gonna have to go no.
Okay, here we go. Does my mom know who Tom Brady's married to?
Giselle.
Yep.
Giselle, the model.
Yep.
She got it. She knew Giselle, the model. which I give her credit for. The first name is fine.
Okay.
Giselle Brady. Just call her Giselle Brady.
Giselle Brady. All right, Diamante, 2-point lead on Omar going into the
win
final.
Something today.
Next question.
Giselle Brady.
There we go. Name the cities the Raiders have claimed as home in their history. Okay, did you hear that question?
Missed it.
Play it again.
Giselle Brady.
Listen to my mom's evil cackle laugh. Also, in this question run. Here's the next one. Name the cities the Raiders have claimed as home in their history.
Oh.
Okay.
She already named one of. I heard it.
Got Oakland.
One. Yeah.
All right.
Los Angeles. Oof. Will she know Vegas?
Will she remember Los Angeles is what I'm thinking.
Right. Good thinking. That was a long time ago.
I want to say she knows.
You're going with yes. Early money on yes from Omar.
I say she forgets L.A.
Okay. You could catch up here, Omar.
I think she goes Oakland and Vegas.
Okay. All right. Omar, chance to catch up here. Let's see if my mom knows. We know she knows Oakland.
Los Angeles. Las Vegas.
Oh, it's a yes. Omar, catching up here. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It is 3-4 now. Next question. Who is Bill Parcells? Okay, a little tougher now. Does my mom know who Bill Parcells is?
Okay, so let's just really quick. What answers are we accepting? Because he's a former head coach, but he's done work as an analyst. Are we saying she could say either?
Yeah, I would say anything. Analyst is acceptable. Anything in the coach world is acceptable. In my book. What do you think? Does my mom know who Bill Parcells is? A lot of thinking going on here.
I think you, by the name, I'm going to say she'll at least throw out coach.
So you're saying yes?
As a wild guess.
As a guess. She'll guess coach.
Okay, that's a yes from Omar.
I'm going to agree with Omar. I got to keep the lead.
Yeah, that's true. I need you guys to give your answers secretly. All right, let's see if my mom knows Bill Parcells.
We got to write it down and then show it.
Parcells is
right.
The coach of
What you got, coach?
A team on the East Coast.
All right,
that's good.
Pretty good. All right,
Super
you guys both hold serve there. All right, next question.
Bill Parcells. Yeah, I don't know.
Name any two teams whose home color is red. All right.
She's going to say the 49ers immediately.
Okay.
Let's say the 49ers. Red makes you think Redskins. Does she say Washington?
Or Arizona. I feel like she'll say Arizona.
I want to say she knows.
Omar going yes. What about you, Diamante? Will you attempt to extend the lead and go with a no, or does my mom know teams whose home color is red? What are the home color teams? We got 49ers.
Chiefs, Niners, Cardinals.
Cardinals, Houston.
Washington football team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else?
That's all I can think of at the top of my head. It's like 5 of them.
You said the Chiefs, right?
Chiefs, Niners, Texans, Burgundy for Washington.
Would you put the Bucks in there? I mean, they have a
Bucks,
red jersey.
They have a red. That's true. Bucks are in there too. Dino's struggling with it. This is not an easy answer for Dino.
Yeah.
My guess is the 49ers, and I'm going to say she knows the Chiefs because they were recently in a Super Bowl. Okay. And they've been getting a lot of airtime.
Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think we should get an extra point if we guess the ones that she knows.
Okay. That could split this. So Omar, you say yes. What teams is she going to pick?
Niners. If she says Redskins, is that wrong? It would be wrong, right?
I
It would be wrong. But they're not the Redskins anymore.
And I don't think they're red. I don't even think their jerseys count as red.
Their history was erased just because they're not the Redskins anymore.
Yeah, that was their name at the time.
I'm gonna go Niners Chiefs.
And also their colors aren't red; they're burgundy. Okay, you're going Niners.
That's a shade of red.
Niners Chief for an extra point from Omar.
I got Niners Cardinals.
Niners Cards. All right. Who's right? Who's wrong? Loser leaves town.
Ooh, that's a good question. It's not Dallas.
That's
It's not Houston. It's not the Rams. Oh, you picked a hard one, honey. You should have gone blue.
Listen to my mom trying to circumnavigate the whole game.
Done blue. Oh, San Francisco. How many teams? 2?
There's one.
Okay, San Francisco. Hold on. Kansas City.
Omar gets the extra point. Nice call on that one. Let me give you a score recount. We got 1, 2,
We're tied.
6. Diamante's got 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. We are tied up at 6 apiece going into the final round. Let's hear the next question. Where did Tom Brady go to college? All right.
She doesn't know that.
Where did Tom Brady go to college? Early, Diamante says no.
No, I'm gonna say no as well.
Sticking with no for both of you.
Yeah.
All right.
Big Blue. She doesn't know that.
Brady
She does not know Michigan. Yeah, I don't think she knows Michigan.
Oh, I used to know this. Tom Brady went to college.
That's my dad banging around in the background too.
Because I think he didn't ever go far from New England.
I would say that she'll remember it after you tell her. I know she's heard it once in her life,
Okay.
but yeah, she's not gonna get it.
Also, keep in mind, I told my dad to be quiet. He's changing a garbage bag in the background. This is my dad's be quiet. I'm going to change a garbage bag.
So I'm going to guess Pennsylvania.
Got close.
Wrong. Yeah, she was close. But you guys both got the point. We're tied at 7 apiece. I think there's 1 or 2 more questions left. Let's hear. Next question. How many Super Bowls have the Buffalo Bills gone to and lost?
Okay.
All right. Does my mom know how many Super Bowls the Buffalo Bills have lost?
My only concern with this question is that she guesses 4. But it would be a total guess.
Okay.
I think she knows because you guys went to one of those Super Bowls when you guys were kids.
Okay. Right. She might have some inside knowledge.
But I say no because I don't think she's going to remember the New York Giants, which was before the Cowboys, right? Was that the Bills and Giants?
It was Giants, Redskins, Cowboys.
That's right.
Right. So you're sticking with no for Diamante.
No.
She doesn't. How many is it? Is it 3?
It's 4. The answer is 4. You said it. You said the 4 teams.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Okay, so both of you going with no?
No.
Okay.
No. She misses the Redskins. That was.
She's gonna. I think she's gonna say 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the 2 Cowboys.
All right. Let's hear.
Oh, good. 0.
Did not get it. Last question coming up. This could break the tie. Here we go. Okay, finish this sentence. Oh, wait, sorry. That was the last question. But let's hear the last one for posterity.
0.
Okay, finish this sentence. The Tennessee... Oh, wait, sorry. There's two questions in this part. Did you hear that one? Let me play it again.
Finish this question. The Tennessee...
blank. Okay, finish this sentence. The Tennessee blank. Okay. Does my mom know the Tennessee Titans? For the win, for the final question.
She tried to say the other team was in Tennessee.
Yeah, she said the Jaguars.
Yeah.
But the alliteration, you got to think, does the alliteration trigger the T? You know what does it trigger Tennessee? You know?
Yeah.
It might be in our memory, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to go.
I say no.
Okay. Omar?
That's a hard one.
Omar, are you going to go yes for the win, or are you going to take this to a tie and eliminate the Pittsburgh Steelers from their playoff berth?
I'm gonna kneel the ball and take the play for the tie.
Oh my God, that's not the Omar I know. You're going with no?
I'm gonna take yes then.
Okay, all right, Omar, I'm locking you in. You can't change from no to yes. All right, for the win. Here we go.
Titans.
Yes.
Diamante got it. Diamante wins by a score of 8-7.
Gotta win something today.
You're taking a knee. Went down, Omar. Down. Much like Jimmy G's attempt at that third down pass that went absolutely nowhere. That was Ask My Mom. All right, moving on. The awards for the week. Who won the weekend? I have two nominees who won the weekend. Number one, the city of Cincinnati won the weekend.
That's a big one.
Hadn't had a playoff win since the 90s.
That's a big one.
And then I also had as a nominee for who won the weekend, fan reactions. Did you see the lady crying at the Cowboy game?
Was she drunk or was she really upset? She may have been intoxicated.
In my world, there is no difference, Omar. Fan reactions also won the weekend as well. I almost put cold weather, but it was only cold for half the games.
I say the NFL refs won the fucking weekend.
They won you're giving them the win. Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Why did they win?
Everybody's talking about them.
I'm going to go with head coaching candidates that are thinking about moving to Dallas.
Oh, that's a good one. I should have wrote that in there. Yes. Okay, that's a good one. All right. Time for Lock It In predictions. Do you care to read our previous Lock It In predictions, Omar?
Oh, I think I'm going to have to swallow my words on the Bengals. Go on ahead.
Okay, here was your Lock It In prediction. Buffalo beats New England to go to the Super Bowl. They throw that prediction out. New England lost. That prediction is done. Then you predicted
Buffalo. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you said Buffalo beat New England in the AFC Championship. Your next prediction was Packers beat Dallas to go to the Super Bowl. That prediction cannot happen now.
Right. That's true.
Now, Joe Burrow wins a playoff game. You predicted correct on that one. And lastly, Zach Taylor wins Coach of the Year. Yet to be seen. Was your Lock It In prediction.
That could happen.
But it could happen.
That's a lot of well right there.
I go back. If the Bills do make it to the Super Bowl, they beat the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Partial credit. That's fine. That's like my mom's answer to Bill Parcells. My predictions. Arizona versus KC in the Super Bowl. Still could happen.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy will start a playoff game. Could happen. Indianapolis will make the playoffs. That was wrong. Here's another one. New England versus Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. That was wrong too.
Yikes.
Okay, so this week, Lock It In predictions. We get to have Diamante's Lock It In predictions as well. Who wants to start? Gonna leave it to me?
I'm going Niners over Packers.
Okay, I'm writing it down, so you will be held accountable. Niners over Packers. Okay, it's locked in.
I say
This can be a prediction of anything you want, by the way. It doesn't have to be football even.
Oh, you know what? Let me go one back. All right, Dino. Winner of the Niners Packers. Here's my better one. Winner of the Niners Packers game is in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm going to modify your pick. Makes it to the Super Bowl. Got it.
wow.
All right, I'm locking you in.
I say Bills beat up on the Chiefs.
I like that pick.
Bills over the Chiefs.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Do we give a prediction for both conferences?
No, you can lock in any prediction you want. You can give as many predictions as you want too.
I was gonna also throw in there. I'll give another one out. Mike McCarthy does not have a job this week.
Whoa.
This week. All right, that's a pretty bold pick. I'm gonna have to lock you in on it. All right.
Yeah.
I don't mess around with these rules.
There's no way he keeps his job.
Really?
I don't know why.
Mike McCarthy. This is his second year or third year?
Second.
This is second year.
And you think he's gonna get fired already?
Nah, I think he's back.
Okay. I think he's back too. You got to give somebody three or 4 years.
Jerry Jones is not going to make the same mistake he made with Jason Garrett year after year, saying that this is okay.
He's at least going to give him 3 years though.
Jerry Jones has now hit George Steinbrenner status.
Hey, when you pontificate, Carmona, can you always do it with a cigar in your hand? I like this.
It was the victory cigar.
Yes, I like that. All right, here's my prediction. Jim Harbaugh will coach an NFL team next year. I'm locking it in.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh to the...
Let me tell you why I'm going to disagree with it, though, because I think when you're making the kind of cheese they make, the kind of cheddar they're making in the NCAA, I think that on purpose, coaches send these feelers out just so their schools can say, hey, do you want us to add another zero to that contract? That's all I'm saying.
Really?
Pat's hoping that Jim Harbaugh's the coach of his Raiders. That's what Pat's hoping for.
Was it the shirt that gave it away? What about? I would like that. That would not be unhappy about. What about Harbaugh back to the Bears?
That's very true.
He might have a soft spot for the Bears. They might be able to coax him into it. He used to play for the Bears.
No, he played for Indianapolis.
And
he played for both. Yeah, he played for both. Yeah,
and the Ravens.
I don't even remember that part.
Played for the Ravens.
Wow. Moving on. Monday night, Arizona at LA Rams.
Lock it in. Cardinals.
Omar going Cardinals.
Wow. Kyler Murray plays very well against the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't trust Stafford at all. If we were to do this, trust Murray or Stafford, Stafford is going to throw a pick in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. He always does it.
I don't know. I feel the Rams D is made to stop Kyler.
Forgot about the Rams D. Rams D is good.
Pressure up the middle, and then they've got what's his name on the outside? Von Miller on the outside.
Okay, so you're going Rams?
Forgot about Von Miller. Gosh.
I'm gonna go Rams. I say McVay has got their number this week. It's playoffs. It's Monday night. It's Los Angeles. I'm gonna go Rams. That's our Monday night predictions. And finally, it's time for legal ramifications.
Hold on. When are they gonna understand that putting a team in Vegas was the worst thing for the players? Not necessarily.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Temptation.
The temptation.
The age range that these guys are coming in is Vegas all like prime. Not only that, the teams that are flying in,
they got potential too.
There are so many. These young guys have so much money now. There is nothing but Instagram models out there.
Yeah.
And
all day long.
And yeah, it's not good.
Already? You're seeing it already. Ruggs, he was drunk.
We lost Ruggs to first-degree murder. That was kind of bad. We lost the other guy to threatening people on Instagram.
Yep.
It was. I said there were hurdles. What's the worst city to go to as a player, do you think? In the sense that you could get in trouble. A player could get in trouble. Is it Vegas? Can anything beat Vegas?
It's Vegas.
What about Miami?
More out of LA or Miami. But
Miami did have that distinction until Vegas opened up.
Vegas, Miami, LA is probably one, although we never hear too many stories out of LA.
At all.
What else could there be? What about New York?
Yeah, New York?
New York could be one. Remember Plaxico Burress shot himself in the leg? What's the best city then to go to as a player to not get in trouble?
If you want to go to Green Bay, nothing to do there.
Green Bay.
Or Cincinnati.
Right.
Or Cincy.
A cold place. A cold place is good because you got to stay indoors. So, but if you're a player, do I want to go to Vegas?
You could throw Nashville in there as one of a party kind of city, because Nashville's kind of a party city.
New Orleans? Could we throw New Orleans in here as well?
There you go.
I think I think people can get in trouble in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's good. I think we're basically saying every city except the cold ones.
And Houston's not far off. You get in trouble in Houston.
Not just only if you like getting massages. That's the only thing you could get in trouble for over there.
You had me at only if you like.
I also think you're safe in Indianapolis.
Okay, that's good. We need to do a ranking of the worst cities to go to as a player to get in trouble.
Yeah,
Vegas, I forgot about
worst idea putting a team in Vegas for the players, not even.
I think in San Francisco, players stay in their hotel room because there's a certain culture out there that some players are deathly afraid of coming across.
Mixed. Yep.
True. Okay. Some good arguments for all these. All right. Legal ramifications. You know how this works, but Dino, you're new to it. So I'm going to start with you. Give me your Mount Rushmore of non-Dallas Cowboy players.
Ray Lewis, right off the top of my head.
Why do you like Ray Lewis?
I don't know. He was just that. Number one, he beat a murder charge. I guess.
Props to that.
You got to always put a guy on Mount Rushmore for beating a murder charge. But
okay,
he just
was OJ going to be next?
He's number two. No, he was just that. He was our era, our LT.
Yeah.
I think that was our era as LT. That's the reason why I like Ray Lewis. Number two, can I say Atlanta Falcons Deion Sanders or San Francisco Deion Sanders?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Interesting pick. Yeah.
I would also say Joe Money. I got to give it up to Joe Money.
Who's that? Who's Joe Money?
Montana.
Oh, I never knew him by that name.
Yeah. And then
give me one more.
I would go Ladainian Tomlinson.
Oh, really? Out of nowhere. LT?
Yeah. You know why? Because he broke the rushing record against UTEP when he was at TCU.
Oh, really? Deep cut.
He put 400 yards on UTEP one season.
Oh, those were dark days. Those are dark days. If you were in the NFL, what position would you play, Dino? What would be your dream position to play?
I'd be a tight end.
Really? Tight end?
Yes.
What kind of tight end do you see yourself being? Blocking, receive, like Shannon Sharp type, or more bigger
I'm a Travis Kelce like.
Oh, really? Athletic,
Yeah.
catching the ball.
Yeah. And good looking.
Good looking. All right. This is taking a turn. Omar, your legal ramification questions. God forbid you ever get in some sort of trouble in which you are accused of a felony. Would you or would you not represent yourself?
No.
You would not.
Show me a person. You show me a person that's representing themselves, and they have an idiot for a client. No, absolutely.
Insider knowledge.
Under no circumstances should you ever represent yourself. That's an easy one.
Oh, really? How come? Why is that easy?
You don't look very credible.
Oh, is that right? Has there ever been a case where someone represents themselves successfully?
You can't plead the fifth.
Oh yeah,
you can't plead the fifth.
The Constitution says that you have the absolute right to represent yourself. And yes, there have been major cases. There was a case where there was this he killed people on a train. I think it was in Chicago, and he represented himself, and they hammered him.
But he got off? He got acquitted?
No, he was guilty.
Well, has there ever been a case where someone represents themselves and they get acquitted? There must be, right? Or
there has to be, but nothing
you can even think of.
Nothing in notoriety, no.
Really? So if you ever get a
killers asking questions to somebody who has a high school education, probably.
No, yeah.
But what if you're you? What if you're you, Omar, who has knowledge of law and representation? You still say no. Get someone else.
Wouldn't do it.
You can't represent yourself and then say I'm not gonna answer these questions, right? That can't happen.
Right. Oh yeah, I'd still have the right to invoke the Fifth Amendment, but I wouldn't.
If you had to go up against a jury, would you have a lawyer or would you go for a team of lawyers?
It depends on what.
Would you assemble your dream team essentially?
It depends on what.
On what? On what? Your crime? What crime would you love to commit? Let me put it that way. If you had to choose the crime to commit, what would you love to attempt?
White collar $1 billion Ponzi scheme.
Oh, I knew it. That's your crime. Yes.
We knew that back when we were like 8 years old, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, I was like, Omar is going to be involved in a white collar crime. Best case scenario.
I think Omar ran a tanda when he was in high school, I think, right?
That was Patrick.
That was me. Thank you, Omar. That was me. All right. I had a lot of ambitions in those days.
Omar, I got a question.
I was always scheming.
Who is your Mount Rushmore, your dream team representation of lawyers from El Paso? Who would you hire to represent you?
I would obviously my mentor Dolph Quijano would be my number one. I would then put obviously, and that's a clear number one for me.
Who?
Only because the ones that I'm mentioning, I've seen them all in action. I'd put Joe Spencer, Jim Darnell, and then I'd probably I'd put Luis Gutierrez because not for the trial skills, but he's gonna maybe cut me a deal.
Let's go out on that.
Huh?
Yeah,
we will go out on that. Omar knows a guy who will cut him a deal.
There, huh?
Yeah, you need a guy that's maybe gonna cut a backdoor deal for you last minute.
That's why we ask the tough questions on legal ramifications. Well, gentlemen, divisional round next week. Me and Diamante cried this week. Omar cheered and smoked a cigar. But for Omar Carmona, for Diamante Williams, we will see you gentlemen next week. Division round.
Good night.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, that is it. That is the show. That is the Sunday night talk for the Wildcard weekend. Diamante Williams back on the Zoom, back on the team, adding valuable knowledge. His team lost. Hey, what can I say? My team lost too. Don't forget, catch me doing live stand-up comedy February 11th, 9:30 p.m. at Flappers Comedy Club right here on the West Coast. Hit me up for details or their site as well, flapperscomedy.com. How was your weekend? How was Wildcard weekend? We still have one game to go. Tomorrow night. Put a bow on it already. Nah, I love it. More games, the better. I hope your team won, and if they didn't win, then I hope you're doing okay. Listen, I've lost a lot of football games in my day. It gets better. Now you can just enjoy the rest of the playoffs. So, for me, Patrick Ramirez, for Omar Carmona, and new addition, new teammate, Diamante Williams, this was the Sunday Night Talk. We will see you for the divisional round next week.